Is love blind?
Are you saying that love can be pure love and looks don't matter?
I think
Like,
that's our interpretation of love is blind,
because
right?
do I think that? No. If you're saying that, like, I could marry and not take into consideration appearance, do I think that's true? No. To me, love is blind. It's not. It's really just. To me, it should be called like love in reverse or love out of order. To me, it's not saying any one thing is more important. It's like, can you fall in love with somebody first without seeing them, and then when you see them, can you actually maintain that connection? It's the same process.
Yeah.
It's obviously expedited, but you're just doing everything out of order.
Yeah.
Now,
Look,
AP, when you say your thing, I want to keep in mind. Do you think that you can continue connection if you fall in love? You feel like you fell in love with somebody online, and then you met them and they look like a boogaloo.
man, the only thing you invest in sight unseen is fixer upper. Is fixer upper property. Don't you dare invest your too much energy into anybody you have not laid eyes on. That like because what will happen is, yeah, you gonna feel like God played a trick on you. God got jokes. I met this dope chick, ugly as fuck. Don't you do it. That's why people get so upset about being catfished. You meet this incredible person, this incredible personality, and then when you actually get to see him, it ain't the person that you met. Nah, bruh, don't you do it.
Don't you feel
I
it's
There's
a
mean,
waste of time? Like you made
catfishing
me
mm-mm,
is,
drive all the way
mm-mm.
down here for this. I'm just
but
like,
catfishing is wrong. We should show who we are, but we're so insecure. We experience so much rejection, and sometimes you get it from your family. Sometimes, like she said, Ms. Shimamona, like your mother may compare, oh, you got good hair, or this is my light skinned child. So people do that by favoring other children over other ones and making them feel some type of way. So they grow up with this way, these grow up with these complexes. So they're like, well, if I just do this, maybe I'll be accepted. Just like the short man. Okay, well, you got brothers out here daggone breaking their legs and extending them just so that somebody would give them a chance when they could just be themselves. So if you want somebody to see all of you, Mr. AP, and you point to your belly, you should do the same thing to the other person. You should extend them the same courtesy because they're
I,
just
I
human too. They just probably weren't blessed in looks, but were blessed in everything else that you would need, right?
yeah. So I've tried a relationship to where the girl was super dope, but I wasn't 100% attracted. You know what I was doing? Looking at everything else.
I tried it too, AP.
Like it's just it's a tough ask. It's Have you ever read a book and then watched the movie and the picture that you had in your mind from that book didn't match what you saw in the movie? It's the same type of concept. You catfish yourself out of that type of situation. You have this mental image of something that it really isn't. So I definitely caution against that. Like I say, always be your authentic self, right? But at the same time, when we're talking love is blind, sight unseen, don't invest your heart when you ain't seen the product.
Okay,
That
well, that's smart, of course, but that's why you get to know the person you date for data, and get the information. You're like, wow, that guy's not too bad. I dated an older gentleman, and he was not my preference. Then just because somebody isn't your preference does not mean they're qualified to be a good candidate to be with you. And we, like I said, we have that mistaken notion that looks equals okay. It's a curated life. Social media, we always curating the perfect moment, curating the perfect view of ourselves when we looking crazy. Usually, most of the day. Okay, so it's like when I gave that guy a chance, it was like, wow, he's really nice. He's really generous. He's really considerate of me. So that that consideration, how he made me feel, that's the love right there. And even though he wasn't like super like talk about a 10 or whatever, um, that didn't matter to me because I knew that I had somebody that cared about me. I cared about them. They met my needs. They were very considerate, and I was like, well, I just couldn't wait to be in their presence again. And I grew to love them. I grew to love
I
them.
I truly believe this. I think that women, this is one of the, I think, a major difference between men and women. I think women really do have the ability to fall in love outside of those that looks arena, and that person truly becomes a 10 in their eyes because of all of the other characteristics that that person possesses. Whereas I think men can love a whole bunch of qualities about a woman, but if she doesn't look the part that he's attracted to, they're never really going to have a truly successful relationship, because the one thing I can pretty much assure is those wandering eyes, and then those wandering eyes turn into wandering words. Those wandering words turn into wandering actions, and I don't think that that's fair to do to anybody. So I think those are very distinct differences between men and women. I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing. I got
So I
two
mean,
other
so
women, but
when are you gonna stop? When are you gonna say what's beautiful, what's not beautiful? Okay, she's gonna age out. She's not gonna look good. Even though you get her, she's like, oh, cool. Now her boobs are sagging, her butt sagging, whatever she got going that made her. Okay, maybe the filler, that you thought she had the nice juicy lips. Oh, those are running out. You don't even know that because you're so blinded by wow the looks. Okay, cool. Everybody's gonna look bad. Gravity's going to set in, and I, if I'm not mistaken, salute to the late great Kevin Samuels. He said that for the sake of the treatment, men. Well, he said men go down in looks for the sake of being treated with respect and as a man.
our
So
value goes up
whatever.
in the
So,
sexual market value due
but
to a whole bunch of different other things. Like we can't just only talk about one part of his message,
but
because
that's what you were
as
talking
we
about
rise
looks. So
on
I'm talking about the
as
look aspect because you just said
for
even though the person is that, you're still going to have wondering eyes. So that's
so,
kind of crazy
so
to me.
there's two parts of this conversation. One part is, am I attracted to you, or am I going to pick you because you kind of have a dope personality? And for men, got to have you got to have both. Starting out, I'm not talking about we're 15, 20 years down the line. I'm talking about starting out. If you're going to give this person a chance, because maybe you work with them and they're cool, but they don't look like what you normally go for. You're never going to be fully satisfied as a dude. You just won't. She has to pass the eye test as well. That, and I'm not talking about society's uh, metric, that 1 to 10. What does she look attractive to you? And then the rest of the pieces fall in place. Now, the good news for guys is we could trade y'all ass in for a younger model because our pockets get bigger. I'm just joking. Guys don't do that. You don't treat women as disposable pieces of on a chessboard. Don't do it. But as you guys age, and just this is just talking to Kevin Samuels' piece, your value does go down because gravity catches up with you. While it catches up with us, also we have other aspects that are getting broader.